Hello guys, welcome back to the next tutorial. Today we're going to talk about new data type called dictionary. If you're coming from any other programming language, you can relate it to hash maps and all those sort of things, but it's not exactly like that because in Python it's much more flexible. So because it's Python, right, we can pretty much do nested things and all those things, which we're going to talk about. So let's quickly bring up our PyCharm and let's take a look at the definition first. So basically it's a data type to again store more than one value in one variable name, and it should be in terms of key value pair, right? So what happens is in dictionaries we can store values in terms of key value pair, and a key value is separated by colon. So they are stored in the curly braces like this one, and a key value is separated by the colon, and a one pair, which is, so one key value is a pair, and different pairs are separated with commas. So this is how you would write a dictionary. In the curly braces you would write uh, key 1, it's gonna be string, and colon value 1, key comma, and then key 2, and not the comma, here it's going to be colon v2. So key 1 corresponds to the value v1 and key 2 corresponds to the value v2. That's how you would define a dictionary. So you see that key and value is separated by a colon and two pairs are separated by a comma, right? So that's how we define a dictionary. And value in a dictionary can be of any data type. In fact, another dictionary also can be a value, and we will take a look at it. So dictionary is not sequenced. It's not sequenced, right? And it works on mapping basically. So there's no indexing, not sequenced, no indexing, I would say. It is just mapping, and the mapping is key value pair, right? So that's how the dictionaries would work. So let's quickly define a first dictionary for us. So let's define a dictionary called car, because I want to take a kind of real world example instead of just showing key, k1, v1 and all those sort of things. So let's take car. It's my dictionary. In curly braces I'm gonna put the first key as make, and the value is, let's say, BMW. So comma, second key as model, and let's give the value as maybe 550i, something like that. And let's put the third key as year, when what's the model of, so basically the year of the model, right? And let's put 2016. So here's something interesting that you might have seen, that I've mixed up the values. So you can provide a string value to a key, you can provide another string value, so anything in quotes is string, right, to another key, but you can provide an integer value also to a key, and all in the same. So it's not like strongly typed, right? So it's not necessary that all the values in a dictionary should be of the same type. They can be of a different type, and that's what we just did, and that's how we can do it. So it's pretty cool, right? So how we access, so let's just print the dictionary. Let's just print it out and let's run the code. So it says the dictionary is this: year 2016, model 550i, make BMW. And you might have just seen that year appear first, but we wrote in this order, right? So dictionary is not sequence. We already talked about it. There's no particular order. It can appear in any order. It's just based purely on mapping, no indexing, no order. So don't worry about the orders. It can appear in any order. So how we access the items from the dictionary? And I said that it's not indexed, right? So if I try to do something like this, as we do in list, right? And let's print it out. So let's print it out. If I do something like this and print car 0, it says key error 0, right? Because there is no key with the name 0 inside this dictionary, so it is not indexed. If I put 1, 2, anything, it's not gonna work. So I have to provide a key which exists. So if I say make and I'm gonna run this code, it's gonna find BMW. If I say model, and I run this code, it's gonna find 550i, right? And if I say model 1, and notice that there's no model 1 with the no model 1 key, right? If I run it again, I'm gonna get the key error. So any key which does not exist is gonna get us that error. So we have to put a particular key to get the value. So that's how we access the keys, and we can store the keys inside a variable as well. So basically we can do something like that. So I can just define a variable called model and say car, and here I can just say model, right? And then I can print this. So I can then print something like this, print model, right? So let's run the code, and we get the 550i, right? So we can do either way, and that's how we can access the values inside a dictionary. And we can define an empty dictionary as well. So let's define D and just the curly braces. So if I print D here, I'm gonna get an empty dictionary. So it's just an empty dictionary. Here it goes, right? So we can define an empty dictionary. So that's pretty awesome, right? All the things we've taken a look at. One more thing that I want to talk about in this one is, let's say, how do we want to add more items to a dictionary? So this is a static dictionary, right? But we can add more items. So dictionary is mutable, it's not immutable. We can add more items. So let's take an example of this dictionary that we defined, which is D. So if I want to add more items to this dictionary, what should I do? So I need to give the name of the dictionary, and then I need to give the square brackets and the key. So let's give it a key called maybe 1, and then we can give it a value. Let's give it a value called 1, right? Similarly, so now let's print it out. So let's print it out this time. So now I have a dictionary and it says key is 1 and value is 1, right? So then let's add more values. So I'm gonna add maybe 2 and the value is 2. So basically I'm just mapping the strings to digits. So if I run this now I have this dictionary, right? So that's pretty awesome. So since we have all those things, what we can do is we can actually perform operations as well on the values of the dictionary. So basically I can just have a variable called define, maybe something sum or something like that, and I can say basically D, and I can retrieve the value called maybe 2, right? And so this is gonna give me the value of 2, which is 2, and I can add something to it. So let's add maybe 8 to it. So now let's print sum, and I think I should change the name, because sum, I think it might be some reserved method or something. So sum underscore 1, something like that, and sum underscore 1. So let's run it, and we get 10 here, right? So pretty much we can retrieve the values, we can perform operations on those values, and we can do a lot of things on dictionaries. There's a lot of manipulations available, there's a lot of stuff that we can do with the values that we retrieve from the dictionaries and all those things. And I can actually, instead of just retrieving the value, I can change the value on the fly. The way we add the values, we can change the values as well, right? So if I want to do something like D and 2, right? So sorry, we have to put this key properly with this quotes, and I can say exactly like this. So I can say something like this, and with the sum, this time if I print my dictionary, so let's print the dictionary before and after. What I'm trying to show you is we can change the values in the dictionary on the fly. So here it's just sum, so let's put it on the top, and then after that I'm printing the dictionary. After that I'm again fetching the value of 2, and this time I'm adding again 8 to that, and again I'm saving back to the dictionary. So in this key only I'm saving. So this time when we print the dictionary, we should have a different value for this key. So let's run the code, and the first time we printed the dictionary, these are the last 2 lines, right? Last 2 print statements. If you want to follow, last 2 print statements. So the first time we ran the code, the dictionary printed 1 is 1, 2 is 2, and the second time 1 value is numeric 1, and for the key 2 the value is numeric 10. So we added a value and again saved it back to the same key. So we can do a lot of operations and a lot of things on dictionaries. So it's pretty cool, pretty awesome, lot of things. So I would say, guys, just download the code for reference, practice it for a while, and stay tuned for the next lecture. So thanks for watching this one guys, and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks, guys.